Pokemon is no stranger to redesigns, but forget that because sometimes they just straight up replace characters. Look, I love Johto, both the original games and the remakes, and so I like both Kris and Lyra, but it's really strange that for some reason the remakes, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, just created a new female protagonist when one already existed. Yeah, this video is about Lyra and Kris. In the first generation, the only choice we could make about our player character was the name. It didn't matter who you were, you had to play as the boy. The same was true for Gold and Silver, but when they received a definitive edition in Pokemon Crystal, we were also given the choice to play as Kris, the first female protagonist in Pokemon. The trend would continue in all future games as the franchise continued to grow and continued to appeal to all people. And then when it came time for the remakes, yeah, you know the story. But when you look at Kris, this makes her the least well-known main character. She only appeared in Crystal version, which is the lowest selling game in the Pokemon franchise. There's no clear answer for why she was replaced, but it's fine now, they're on good terms. Even though they, alongside Ethan, play the same roles in the main series games, their designs are pretty different. Kris sticks to a lot of the same design philosophies as Gold, as they're both contemporaries. She has a bit of the 90s skater aesthetic with shorts and sneakers. Her hair is tied into two tails and she has a cap. Lyra's design leans into a more stereotypically feminine style. Fun fact, did you know that it's a speedrun strat to play as the girl in Heart Gold and Soul Silver? Because if you play as the boy, Lyra will spend too much time talking and cost you a few important seconds. What are you trying to say, Game Freak? Anyway, Lyra has a shoulder bag rather than the backpack that Kris uses. Her hat has a huge bow on it, and while she's wearing overalls, they're matched alongside thigh-high socks. While I thought that Ethan's original design and redesign both fit the more active, almost skater appearance, when you look at both Kris and Lyra, it's clear that Kris matches this idea better. Again, there was supposed to be a skateboard in the original Gold and Silver, and Heart Gold and Soul Silver were all about walking. Sure, Lyra could walk, but it's more of a leisurely stroll. I do find it interesting that while their hair color and exact style is different, they're both still tied into two tails. I still love Lyra's design, but I'll come out and say that Kris's works better for the themes that the Johto games are setting out to accomplish. But things get really twisty when we take a look at their anime counterparts. Because Kris came first, she made her debut as Marina in the Pokemon Chronicles anime. This was a spin-off series that focuses on characters other than Ash Ketchum, and this is canon to the main series. In the story arc that takes up the first 3 episodes, we follow Jimmy, Gold's anime counterpart, Marina, and Vincent, a simp. Marina is very focused on being a Pokemon performer. She has a Misdreavus and a Croconaw. Kris has been shown with a Misdreavus before in some official Pokemon art. Meanwhile, Lyra appears in some episodes of the Diamond and Pearl anime, and travels alongside Ash and friends for a few episodes. She's a bit of a dorky tomboy who's working to earn her gym badges from the Johto League. Here, she has a Chikorita. So you see what I mean about these two sort of seeming to take on roles contrary to their designs, at least when you compare the two. Or that's what I'm getting, tell me if I'm wrong. Marina would go on to make a handful of cameos in the main series anime, but in the end, she only appeared as a voice character in 3 episodes, while Lyra appeared in 5. Still nothing compared to the main cast, but it's cool that we got to see them at all. I have talked about the episodes that they both appear in before, but those videos themselves are old and deserving of their own remakes. In the end, I at least like that they were both acknowledged in the anime and were unique. And while they both exist in the same timeline in the anime, though they never met, they both have met in Pokemon Masters. These of course are their video game equivalents, so Kris is actually named Kris. They both also keep their same partner Pokemon, Lyra with Chikorita and Kris with Totodile, so that's at least pretty consistent. Because this is Lyra taken straight out of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, her personality is basically the same that we see when playing as Ethan, though more expanded in the character and story focus scenes. She's very happy-go-lucky, loves her Pokemon, and loves spending time with and getting to know other Pokemon, to the point where most of her journey across Johto was just her taking detours to enjoy the location. Because Kris never really had a personality in-game, what we see of her in Masters is completely new, but it ties into her role as a player character pretty well. She's very interested in observing and learning more from Pokemon, which fits the whole filling up the Pokédex goal in the video games, though she still loves battles and is at a bit of a crossroads, unsure whether she should pursue Pokemon battles or Pokemon ecology. I think this is a pretty cool way to tie her in and give her a bit more of a character. It's also kind of a smart way to include a character that's been mostly excluded from the protagonist group for so long. Just have her interested in Pokemon research and she can join the professors and professor assistant characters. But we do also see this expanded in her relationship with Suicune. After the two form a sync pair, she tells us that seeing Suicune for the first time was one of the things that inspired her to travel and explore Johto. Now in Pasio, she loves getting to spend time with Suicune, observing it every day. This all just works to give give her even more after Pokemon Crystal, which is where she debuted after all. But speaking of the Signa suits, I've gotten a handful of comments asking me to take a look at the various alternate outfits in Pokemon Masters, and there are a lot, and they add new ones every month. And I don't have a solid way to frame a large-scale comparison video, but in this video, I think it makes some sense. So both Kris and Lyra wear some very fancy dresses as they are accompanied by a legendary and a mythical Pokemon. Kris isn't wearing a cap, so she lets her hair down. It maintains the pointed edges on either side. The dress is a nice crystal blue meant to match Suicune and even has the diamond patterns and the ribbons to match Suicune's, ribbons? She also keeps some short leggings underneath, which fits her aesthetic. Lyra, of course, is wearing green to match Celebi. There are leaf-like shapes in her outfit to fit the grass-type theme. She also isn't wearing a cap, but interesting that her hair mostly looks the same. Though, while these outfits match very important Johto Pokemon, they don't look very Japanese. In a character scene, Cynthia tells Lyra that her clothing resembles what dancers would wear in the Johto region long ago. Wait a minute, weren't Sinnoh and Johto both connected? And we just got Legends Arceus, which takes place in Sinnoh long ago, and something about these outfits looks a little familiar. No. But the way that Kris, Lyra, and Ethan all interact, it's as if they all came from the same place. I like the idea of Johto having 3 protagonist characters. There is also the Pokemon Adventures manga, which is a very different take on a lot of these characters than the video games. But here Kris is called Crystal and is very skilled at catching Pokemon. She first appears at about the point in the story where we move on to Johto for the first time. And apparently later on during the time of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, she dresses the same as Lyra. So in a way they're kind of just fused in this character. But I haven't fully read Pokemon Adventures and it's worth its own deep dive, so I'll leave it at that. But that's basically all the comparisons between Kris and Lyra. Unfortunately, while Pokemon Masters seems to treat them as equals, other recent Pokemon media hasn't been so gracious. And though Pokemon Masters is developed by DNA, a lot of stuff no doubt has to be filtered and approved by the Pokemon Company above all. So I hope that the success of this game keeps both of these characters in the spotlight together. But it was interesting to take a look back at that one time when, rather than getting a character redesign, we got a full-on character replacement. And while I feel that you can prefer one over the other, by the way, comment and tell me which one is your favorite, it's just good to know that we can all let bygones be bygones and move forward into the future. And that has been Kris versus Lyra. Thank you to all of my channel members who make videos like this possible, especially the great Gators Jackson, Justin R, Mr. Pig Puncher, and Quago. If you'd like to support, get a shout out here, and some access to emotes used in comments and live streams, then you can become a channel member today. You can also follow me on Twitter for more memes as well. Anyway, this has been GatorX, and I'll catch you all later.
What was that? There's more to being a Pokemon than battling with Ash and Pikachu.
It's incredible!
Catch all new monsters, new characters, and never-before-seen adventures.
You're in for the fight of your life! The kid's got guts, I'll give him that.
Pokemon Chronicles premieres Saturday, June 3rd at 7.
Notice how much I've changed? Well?
Not really.
Ah!